decision on her own. She has dementia. She has no short-term memory. She doesn't know what's going on. That granddaughter, the grandmother took the news, she was fine. She was okay, they're not going to allow me to do it. The granddaughter was not okay with it. She shopped around for 3 other doctors, finally found one who said yes, and prescribed her the medicine. They send you home with a prescription. It's a pill. All you got to do is take it. You have to administer it yourself. They sent her home with it, and supposedly she took her own pill. Never investigated it, never did anything to not prove. How would you know that granddaughter didn't give her a pill? Another case in Oregon, an elderly man, same thing. He got a pill, took it home. You have a 6-month window when you get the pill to take it. He took it home. Every time he was like, okay, I'm going to take it on this date, didn't do it. I'm going to take it on this date, didn't do it. The next thing they find out, his brother-in-law called and said he was trying to take the pill, he couldn't take it, so I helped him take it. Now he's dead. It's against the law to have another person administer that pill. Never investigated the case. Nothing happened after that fact. That moved on. That just goes to show what can happen. They're allowing it to be illegal. That's just opening the window for murder. People think money. If that person's got a will, they've got a house, they've got millions of dollars that's going to go to these family members, I can promise you these greedy family members are going to be right there shoving that pill down their throat. And it's proven in the United States. They're not investigating it. They're not doing anything about it.
Of course they're not. Because of the simple reason the person sought after voluntary euthanasia. And that is the thing. That's where voluntary euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide separate. Is because voluntary euthanasia is something you administer yourself. Like she said, they take the pills. That's something that you administer yourself. Now, this is where all the gray lines that she was talking about comes in. Voluntary euthanasia is not legal. It is somewhat legal in Oregon and everything, but voluntary euthanasia is where they administer somehow themselves. What we're trying to legalize and everything else is physicians-assisted suicide, where they're in a comfortable setting. They are able, a doctor who knows what he's doing, everything else, can sit here and give him the medication that he wants. Voluntary euthanasia is actually the same thing, but no matter which way you go, this is what the person wants. If they sit there and go, oh, okay, well, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, that's fine. Wait all you want to, but you are obviously enough pain and you are obviously suffering enough to get to the point to where this is what you want. It's your life.
But how do you know
you should be able to decide that for yourself.
How do you know they're making the decision? Just in the case of the elderly woman with dementia, her granddaughter was right behind her, pushing her to say everything, to make the decision, to get the pill. You can't determine, because you're not in those homes. You don't know what their families are telling them, or their friends are telling them, or
but you can't base
whoever.
a whole law on what someone might do.
And you
yes, that's why you don't pass the law, because it opens
that's why you
way
have
too many.
restrictions.
Yes, but how do you enforce the
but there's always going to
restrictions?
be someone who goes against a law or does things backwards or under the table or illegally. It's always going to happen. But you can't deny somebody to make their own decision for their own body.
They have the restrictions
like,
in Oregon, and they don't enforce
we can't
any
tell
of
them, hey, you can't do that. If we're equipping our people to give them, we're equipping everybody with either vaccines or pills or whatever, however we're equipping them to be able to kill themselves. And we can't tell them, hey, you guys can't, you guys are being corrupted, and you guys are doing this, and you guys aren't doing that. If we're the ones that are administering it, we have to try and stay in control of it. And although it isn't fair to kill yourself, we don't want to be responsible. We don't need
It's
to be
about time to
responsible.
close. Affirmative team will close first.
Okay. Okay.
Closing. Close at 5.
Close.
Okay. Like we stated earlier, our point is we're trying to legalize euthanasia. We feel that it is an individual's own right to decide on whether or not they want to live with pain and suffering, or whether or not they want to end their own life. It is everybody's life, just like our sign says. It's my body, my life, my way, my death. It's not determined by anything. And even though they presented very thoughtful or very good points, we still feel that there's always going to be errors. There's always going to be the
comes down to your own personal decision.
Yes, it comes down to the which way would you want to die? Would you want to die on somebody else's terms or your own? That's the only way that we can put it.
And it's very unfortunate the situations that the people are in who would like to have euthanasia. However, it's the nation's well-being that you have to look after. It's sad, the individual people, but if you open that door for one person, the stuff that's going to come after, it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be terrible. I mean, there's restrictions or in places where you have to see all these doctors before you can do euthanasia. Who do you think pays the doctors? The insurance companies. Do you think it's more money for the insurance companies to keep you alive or to have you euthanized? So who's going to persuade the doctors? The insurance companies, and they're going to persuade you to euthanize yourself. I mean, there's just way too many possibilities where infants, children, kids 12 to 16 in the Netherlands, well, it could happen anywhere, they're able to choose euthanasia without their parents' consent. You don't want your kids coming home in a body bag and you not know about it. So.
Thank you, thank you.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we'd like to.
Which play? What is your background?
Oh, you're close. Sorry, guys.
You could do that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, here's the PowerPoint.
Because those guys, they can evaluate
Okay, it's real quick. It says, put an end to pain and suffering, vote for euthanasia. The meaning behind the words, euthanasia, the act of putting to death painlessly or allowing to die, also called mercy. Physicians-assisted suicide, we all know the famous Dr. Death. Dr. Kevorkian, some people see him as evil, some people see him as a saint. Why is this acceptable for medical, but not acceptable for an individual? People should have the right to choose when there is no hope that anything will improve. This is what can happen.
There is hope.
Why death row and not terminally ill? The little sign that says, if the little guy in the hat is wearing 2009, the sign on the bed says 2008, it says the law on euthanasia was different, I'd have been put out of my misery by October. But yet, we have people on express line and death row. Why is it humane for animals, but not humans?
Oh, listen, my dog.
Do you care? It says euthanasia. If you really care, you'll end it. It's our own human rights to decide how we die. Dignified dying is a human right. There you go.
Thank you.
End of it.
Very good, thank
Good job.
you. Let's hear our judge and what we're gonna